Hey, my name is Sarah and welcome back to another episode of Talking Fast. Just like every single other almost 100 episodes we've ever done, I'm with manager Jacob. Nothing's up. I just lost another nail. I love press-on nails, but sometimes when I don't glue them great, then they just pop off.
This is maybe a stupid question. I'm sure all of our listeners know this, but do they come with the glue on them, or do you use separate glue, or could you use extra glue?
So it comes with not glue on them, but it comes with a packet of glue that you like glue.
Yeah.
Them to your fingers, but I prefer to use the special glue from Amazon, but I was out of that, so I used the glue that came with the nails, and it's never as good. So that's like it's really the glue that makes or breaks press-on nails. Anyways, so
I'll pretend I don't know.
I just wanted to address it because if you watch the video version, it's distracting me, so I'm sure I'll distract you as well. Anyways, let's kick this off. What are you eating and drinking this week?
Oh my God, Sarah.
Oh my God.
You know, one of the most healthy things you can do, but is so forgotten, is just drink so much water. You know how much water you should be drinking per day?
Probably a lot.
Yeah, it depends on your activity level and body type and all sorts of different things.
So
but at least 2.5 liters.
That much?
Up to 4 liters, maybe more.
4 liters?
If you're running a lot, and Sarah, I know you're running a lot.
Oh, yeah, I'm not hydrating enough for sure.
I know so many people. I've got some friends who have been doing, my brother and sister-in-law actually, who've been doing, and others who've been participating in like various different fitness and health related challenges. And one of the components across all these different things that people are doing, which has now made me a little bit more attuned to hydration, is the amount of water you should be drinking. Yeah, like with 75
hard in any of those, you have to drink like a certain amount of water each day.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm probably drinking at least 2 liters. But
I'm drinking 2 at least because my massive like knockoff Stanley is like 750 mil.
And you go through 2?
At least.
Okay.
So at least 2. I probably could be better.
What I'm trying to drink this week is more water. I also noticed it, and this is why it's not a good stopgap, but I picked up a coffee on the way to the episode today because you know when you get in that little late afternoon funk and you're like, I'm probably dehydrated, but I'm going to blame it on like an incoming migraine or something. I got a little headache going on. That's me. Sarah, what are you drinking or eating this week?
Well, you were just talking about that mid-afternoon funk. I'm drinking iced lattes because it is officially warm enough where we transition from hot drinks to cold drinks.
This is a big time of year. Are you heavy on the ice or light on the ice?
I just don't. I whatever ice they give me.
I feel like sometimes you can transition into the warmer weather a little bit if you like go half ice. To like reduce how cold your drink is.
I just whatever the standard amount of ice each place gives me. I'm not too concerned.
Okay, you got any like
it.
fun little like mixes in there? Like any flavors?
I'm a big vanilla. Right now what I'm drinking actually is from Balzac's and it's their Canadian maple latte. I saw it on the menu. I went, love maple. Let's try it out.
Balzac's, they're a Canadian company too, aren't they?
I think they started in Stratford.
Oh, whoa, shout out Stratford.
And they used to have one on Ryerson's campus. I mean TMU's campus.
Do they not have one anymore?
No, they still do. Like we just don't go there anymore. That's why I say I meant used to in the sense of like
very hype when they opened that.
Yeah, I know.
I loved that place. Although there were rumors that there were rats running around.
There was rumors that there was rats running around the entire school, which probably were true. So I don't really. But anyways, it's now iced coffee season for me, at least in the afternoon. I'm always a hot coffee in the morning person, but now it's not hot coffee in the afternoon. That's how I know the weather is getting warmer.
Okay, I like that. What about what you're watching or reading this week, Sarah?
By the time this episode comes out, I will have already been ?
Yeah, you leave
to Disneyland
soon.
I leave next week. In a week today. So I got invited on my first ever brand trip.
Fun.
Crazy one to be invited on. Disneyland. Now, crazy. Jacob and I both thought it was a fake email when it came in fully.
You got to check like the @
We had to make sure it was real. But I got invited to Disneyland. So haven't been to Disneyland in like over a decade or almost a decade since I went to VidCon. I went to Disneyland for one day. So I was watching Disneyland vlogs to like get hyped up, see the food situation, the food and wine festival is happening while we're there.
What are you most excited for?
I'm most excited so Tara went a couple years ago on this it's called like the International Creator Showcase. So it's like they bring creators from all over the world. And Tara's also going this time. She was also invited. But she showed me a couple years ago, like the vlogs of how like they keep the park out like open late sometimes for the creators, or they do like early access. Tori was telling me that.
Opportunities.
I'm really excited for that stuff, like stuff that I wouldn't be able to have as an experience otherwise.
Are you gonna wear the Mickey ears?
I wear the Mickey. When I went to Disney last year, I wore the Mickey ears.
Yeah.
Of course, I buy in, especially at Disney. I love the ears. I love the whole like dress. I love a theme, right? So I love like the whole aesthetic of it. And I'm really just gonna take in my entire time in California, because I don't know the next time I plan on traveling to the United States of America after that. So this is my last hurrah. I'm gonna go visit Nolan's family after, and then we'll come back and not go there for the foreseeable future. But a last hurrah at Disneyland.
It's nice to tag on the family trip.
Yeah, exactly. Because also we don't know next time we're gonna see that.
Yeah, those borders might be closed. Who knows?
So yes, it worked out nicely that this work trip was in the works, and this is a nice little. Anyways, I'll say is I'm watching Disneyland vlogs, and now I like know who all the vloggers are. So if there's other Disneyland vloggers, I'm like, I know who you are.
I like that.
The Disney adults. What about you? What are you watching or reading?
Okay, it's a little bit different, but I have a little bit of a bone to pick, but also a recommendation. Stumbled upon one of these like kind of hope Corey TikTok accounts, content creators who. It's called A Mug of Life, I think it's called. And this guy, he walks around with a GoPro, and he just asks people to have a cup of tea with him. And he sits down and they enjoy just a quick conversation. Sometimes it's like an old man who's just at a park feeding ducks, or it's people that like you probably wouldn't run into and have a conversation about this. Here's the bone I have to pick about that, though. I feel like on TikTok, on social media in general, whenever I go to a video like that, you look in the comments, and you know what Sonder is? It's like this, the definition of it is essentially like it's like an overwhelming feeling that other people around you, when you see them, they also have such a complicated life.
Yes. Oh yeah. It's like
inside of them.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Which I think has become such a popular word in the last, I don't know, 5 to 10 years.
I think the pandemic for sure also made it like
100%. Here's the problem I have with it. When I open the comments, there are tens of thousands of likes on people just saying, oh, that's the Sonder. Here's the definition of that. I think that people love using the definition, or like sharing the definition of Sonder more so than actually participating.
Of course, I think
out in the world and actually caring about other people. So here's my PSA to, instead of throwing the definition of Sonder in one of these Hope Corps videos, go out and have a conversation with someone who's a stranger. I like doing that personally, and it's a little bit more interesting because then not only are you aware that someone else has another story out there in the world, but you can participate in it.
Also, like, I feel like it makes the feeling of Sonder less overwhelming when you interact with more people, no?
100%. Yeah, exactly. And I think that that's why it's so annoying a lot of the time to me when I see the definition just being tossed around and thousands of people liking it, because I'm just like, you're so close.
But you're not doing the actual partaking of it.
Exactly.
That's a good take, Jacob. I like that. What are you listening to?
This is my last call. I think it's the last time for someone to get on the Baby Nova train. And she's got another single out called Too Pretty for Buffalo. At this point,
it's your last call, meaning like you think she's about to blow up, so it's like your last time.
I don't know if she's gonna like blow up in a month from now or something, but like if you've been sleeping on all of my recommendations, because I feel like she's released 3 tracks and I've at least talked about 2 of them now.
Yeah,
on
for
here,
sure.
Probably all 3.
The fact that I recognize the name means that for sure.
And I have no skin in the game. In fact, on an earlier episode, I questioned if she was a Nepo baby. But it's just so good. Every track is a heavier hitter than the last. And Too Pretty for Buffalo is the newest one as of this recording. It's a great song.
Love.
Go and listen to it. If you haven't listened to her, get on the Baby Nova train.
Too Pretty for Buffalo is a good track name.
Yeah, go on a road trip.
Drive to Buffalo.
Maybe
just look over the border.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe Too Pretty for Buffalo is actually like a pro-nationalism for Canada track.
And to not go across the border just to go shopping right now.
Sarah, what are you listening to?
It's more of a call out is what I need is good running music, because I did a interval run today, which was hell. I did not fuel properly. You know when you just feel heavy? It was one of those ones. Anyways, I did an interval run today, but it was like having to do like speed work.
Yeah.
So I usually just throw on my playlist fast running. I have a slow running, fast running playlist to keep it like tempo based. And the playlist is from 2 years ago. And like, although I like a lot of the songs still, it feels like it's from 2 years ago. And I feel like new era of running, new things I'm training for, I need a new like playlist made. So I need everyone's favorite songs to run to. please.
Okay,
What's your favorite song to run
I'll
to?
tag onto that. You know what? I have.
Are you like, what's your vibe when you run? Is it like EDM? Is it country?
It's
Is it whatever?
almost entirely EDM. However,
It's like Nolan
Maren
does the same thing.
Morris's Girl album
Yeah, that's a great
was
album.
a huge running
That's a good
album for
one.
me. And
I feel like-
it feels like sometimes country music, it's not going to be like that up tempo.
No.
Most of the album is up tempo, and then there are a couple tracks in the middle of it. One of them, isn't it? It's like "Make Out with Me" or something. I think is like one of the middle tracks, which is a great like recovery. Do your
That's
intervals
smart.
and then do a recovery track, and then go back into the high
Well,
tempo stuff.
I think country music is really good for running because like the tempo is actually pretty good. Like that's what's important, right? It's like when you're running, if you're trying to hit like a certain cadence, which I'm always focused on, is the tempo of the songs. And I find country music usually hits like the 175 tempo that I need.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, but if whatever any recommendations you get, pass my way as well. Sarah, something you did this week.
Something I did was I wrote it down as a new wing of my business. I feel like people don't really know what I've been doing since I left my job, which is fair because do I even really know what I've been doing? No, but we've been figuring it out. And I think the key thing is like I became a freelance producer, right? But what did that mean? Did I want to go and work on reality TV? Did I want to go work whatever? Where I really saw a gap was in athlete content, and I really want to work with athletes specifically and help support them as like both a consultant. I've done like freelance work with like organizations like Athletics Canada and stuff before, where I like go in and do a chat with their athletes about like content and how to actually use the platforms and give them like tangible things that they can do because they're focused on being an athlete, right? Like they're not focused on content. So that can look different for a lot of different athletes. I've worked with athletes that I've edited their videos for them. I've worked with athletes that, anyway, so I've been like planting the seeds to do this for literally since like December. That's been like what I've really been planting the seeds doing. And this week was my first, the past 2 weeks has been my first real like, oh shit, like I've been having like really big meetings. I had to make like rate cards and all this stuff. And I like met with an agency last week who is referring me, and I have meetings with like 8 of their athletes now. And then after that, next week, this week I have a really big meeting, and if that signing goes through, like I'll talk to you guys about it, but it will be by far like the biggest athlete that I could sign, which is crazy. So it's finally, I've been planting seeds, and it feels like the work isn't going anywhere when you're just like working for yourself and like classic like entrepreneur, and you're just like, oh my God, like I'm just reaching out to people, doing this, that, whatever. But now I'm finally seeing little sprouts start to grow.
Huge.
And then I fear what's going to happen is I'm going to get like, and somebody asked me this on a call. They're like, what are you going to do when you were working with like 25 athletes? I go, that is a bridge we will cross later.
25 daily vlogs going out at the same time.
Exactly. So yeah, it's just interesting. But yeah, it's like I like this week really it felt like I established myself in this new wing of under Sarah Jenkins Media, which this podcast falls under, but you know what I mean? Of like what I do. So
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thanks.
But also, has it felt a little loosey-goosey up until now?
Yeah, because no one does this in this space, in the sports space at least. So there's no standard for it. They go, what are you charging? I don't fucking know what to do. You know what I mean? Like it's really like when no one's done it before, I know it's because there's like a gap and it's needed. Like people have, let me rephrase that.
This is like me pricing out your personal content
100%.
creation.
It's the same thing. And it's like okay, so I should say like athletes have hired like people to help them shoot their brand deals and like hype videos. But like, that's the thing. It's like, you don't want to see hype videos from athletes. It's like what I'm doing is helping them build out their like personal content. Like a lot of these athletes want to shoot day in the life videos, this stuff. They either don't have the time or don't know how to do it. So it's like me, white label in the background, will be producing their vlogs and stuff.
Well, that's also like they're professional athletes, and we're talking about the tier of people who are like that's their full time.
Exactly.
Their full time job, well known people,
and that's the
who are
other
focused on their sport. They're not focused
100%.
on how
to
I
be a
get
content
the best
creator.
video. Yeah.
100%. And then it's like setting them up now so that when something like an Olympics comes around, because during an Olympics they understand the opportunity, they want to capitalize on it. But it's like, how do we set you up so you've already been doing all this stuff for like the years leading up, so then when the Olympics comes, the reason Ilona, is that her name? Ilona Mar, like the rugby player, was so successful because she was already doing content, and then the Olympics came and it just put her out on a bigger stage.
Yeah.
So that's basically the model you're trying to create. But with athletes that don't have the time to do it, or some athletes want to become their own media hub. So instead of following a page that will post a graphic every time they break a world record, like you should be the media hub. Like if I follow this person, that's because I want to see all of their updates, graphics, whatever, and they become like their own media company in themselves. That's kind of the antithesis of what I'm doing. So anyways.
And it's also probably going to be so important because as teams continue to grow and reach new markets, yes, skills are going to always be the most important thing. But no shade to Bronny James. You see Bronny James get signed into part of the Lakers organization because of his background and which family he's a part of, right?
Exactly.
It's just like, if you can build a personal brand that's going to be beneficial to the team and yourself going long term, why wouldn't you?
And also, why not cut out the middleman?
100%.
What is something that you did?
Sarah, you're going to be so proud of me.
Did you go to the well?
I didn't go to the well, but I went to Waterworks, the food hall, the new food hall. Have you been? You've been?
Yes, I've been to Waterworks.
I've been. It was good. I went to the Harry's, charbroiled there, which is another East End establishment that's in the Waterworks space now. And I didn't realize that they have just a bar in the middle of the actual.
Yeah, it's the best.
And there was a happy hour.
And
plus,
they
it's
also
just
have
such a
like a
nice
civil works upstairs. It's called.
Okay, I didn't go upstairs, and I knew that there was a courtyard outside. Plus, if you get one or two, like there's a couple seats on the one side where you can kind of overlook and look at the dog park outside while having a bite. So recommended.
I just think it's great for anyone that is indecisive, and like especially if you're a couple and like you want different vibes of food. Someone wants ramen, someone wants a burger.
I was with 4 different people, and
it's
everyone
amazing.
kind of got something different.
It's the best. It's the best. Finally, Jacob, what is something that you're loving?
Oh, curation over time. This is a concept that is not mine. It is just the concept of curation is something that everyone is aware of. You collect things, you acquire things. I think that a lot of people are like, they'll move into a new apartment and they'll say, oh my God, I got to get everything figured out immediately. I have to get the couch. I have to get that piece of art. I have to get this. I've seen Matisse's blue nude print. I need to have one of those in my bathroom. I need to have all this stuff sorted out. That is fine, but it's not going to create a home, and it's not going to kind of let you figure out how you want to live within your space. And that could be your apartment, or it could be anything. It could be your personal fashion, your personal style. It could be the kind of foods that you want to eat. Sometimes you just have to go and sample things. If we're speaking about food, if you're curating your palate over time, go and experience some different cuisines. See what you like, see what you don't like. But I think a lot of people say, oh, I got to figure out what my personal brand is immediately, and then don't change it. Yeah. And that is so uninteresting.
And also it's like, because they want the instant gratification too, right? So it's like you move into a new apartment, they want all the furniture, all the decor, everything done right away. And then as someone that did that, because it was the pandemic, so I had nothing else to do. It's like I've added things to it, like bookshelves here and there, whatever. But then you get to a point where like itching, you're like, okay, well now I want to completely redo this space because it doesn't represent what I like anymore. A bookshelf is a great example, a microcosm within the larger apartment with this idea in mind. Because it's like, oh, I have this new bookshelf, I want to fill it. It's like, if that is the perfect example, because you cannot fill your bookshelf immediately. We need to go and order like spend like thousands of dollars or something like that. I know.
No, you're gonna be filled with books you never want to read.
Exactly.
It's just like, take your time. I love that. That's my PSA. Something you're loving, Sarah.
I'm just loving the fact that it feels like we're thawing. You know what I mean? Like winter is leaving.
And
personally
in the world.
Yes. Both figuratively and literally. No, it feels like Toronto's summer is thawing, like it's coming out, like it's peeking through. It's still a little cold today. Like it depends on the day. It's like teasing us a little bit, but like I was in a skirt and a t-shirt on Saturday all day.
It's a little too cold for just like this, this denim
you need like
jacket.
One more layer.
However, I'm like trying to tease out the warm
same
weather,
way. It's starting to be more sunny days than not. It's thawing. It's like it's getting ready, and I just get so excited this time of year. It's the one thing I do appreciate about living in a place that has seasons, because I do appreciate the seasons more.
I think that we talked about this maybe a couple episodes, but like people are starting to make more plans now. You notice it. People are like, oh, actually we should do this. Yeah, I'd love to see you. Let's go to that. Let's do this. I have to be like, okay, you got to be a little strategic about that, because you got to keep some weekends open here and there.
Or else you'll say things too quick. My summer, my friend was like, what if I had my bachelor party in August? I go, I'm already booked all of July and August. I don't know what you want from me. Today we're doing a classic AMA. Ask me anything.
AMA, Sarah.
AMA. It's really an AUA. It's Ask Us Anything. But a classic AMA, if you don't know, it's, internet lingo for just like a Q&A, Ask Me Anything. People do them on Instagram, whatever, stories all the time. But we decided to do one for the podcast because we often are being like, we want to give advice. But this is selfishly where we can just talk about ourselves. And
we also got some fun questions.
Exactly. I feel like this can help you get to know us more on like a deeper level. of like who we are. You know?
Can I just start with one? I like one.
Yeah, you can pick one.
This was a good
We have a
question.
few
I don't know
choices.
who asked this, but what is your pettiest opinion about something that truly doesn't matter? That's
you
a good
have one?
personality. That's a good kind of like personality
I
test.
think actually probably something about me is I'm pettier than people think I am.
Really?
Would you not argue? You know me pretty well.
I mean, we talk behind the scenes.
I think both of us are probably pettier than people perceive.
Oh, this is actually pretty funny. Yeah, we'll never like name any names, but like, yeah, Sarah and I will like send links back and forth of like different people that you would definitely know, that like shit talk people. We do that frequently. I feel like most people do that in group chats, so why not own up to it?
Yeah. What is a thing that I'm petty? I mean, like,
Because I would be like nice to their face, essentially.
Well,
so I'm just
always
talking
be
behind
nice
their
to
back.
everyone.
That's a bad quality, but I do it.
everybody does it though. Yeah, I think in general you and I are pettier. I don't think there's one specific thing that I have like a petty opinion on.
Is this petty? Is this petty? Like I'll keep vendettas against people. Like I have an enemy list.
I have a mental enemy list. I call people like my arch nemesis. I
Yeah.
always have at least one in the rotation.
Yeah.
So I
I
guess
know
that's
like
petty.
there's a lot. I know like I know you don't like him. I know he doesn't do that many. He's not a good guy by any means. What's the Barstool Sports guy?
Dave Portnoy.
Dave Portnoy. The one thing I do actually like about him is that he has champagne bottles.
Oh, for
that
his
he writes his
enemies?
enemies' names on them, and I was gonna copy that because I'm like,
That's
I
actually
will
a good
pop a bottle of
idea.
champagne whenever one of my enemies fails.
I don't know if I have like petty opinions specifically about something that doesn't matter as much as that's like I'm really like nice until I'm not, I think is my personality. Like I think I'm a very nice person in
I
general.
think that's fair because you're not gonna turn on someone out of nowhere.
No. I know. But I think some people's baseline starts at being like rude.
Oh yeah.
Whereas that's not me. But when I do find out, like Jacob and I are the same. If you've crossed us, you're cut. Like it's kind of like the extent of it. And it's worked in both business and personal.
I was told the other day that, which was a really nice thing to hear, that people had been talking behind my back, but just about like how nice I was. Like, oh, we like having him around, and I was like, oh, it's a really nice thing to hear.
That's really nice.
Which
And
I'm
then,
like,
and then they find out that Jacob talks about people behind their back only.
no,
And
but
then
what I
they-
was gonna say is like, if those same people like double cross me or something like that, immediate enemy.
Yeah. Immediate enemy. If I find out that, or if someone said something about my friends or something, no, done.
Yeah, fiercely loyal. That's like a
Fiercely
Gryffindor
loyal.
kind of
That's
kind
true.
of thing.
That's true. Is it the Gemini in us? Is that like
Probably.
what it is?
Yeah, Sarah and I are
That
both
is-
Geminis. I
that's
don't know
like
if
a thing.
everyone
I don't know
knows
if
this.
everybody knows that. But you're a May Gemini and I'm
I'm
a
an
June,
end of May Gemini.
and I'm a end of June
My
Gemini.
birthday is May 29th. Everybody wish me a happy birthday.
My birthday is June 17th. But anyways, yes, we're both Geminis.
add me to famous birthdays. Someone.
I got added last year.
Did you?
I did.
That's honestly one of my bucket list goals.
To be added to famous birthdays.
Yeah, it just seems like a stupid thing, but I want to be on there.
They requested information from me the other day.
Wait,
Famous
there are actual
birthdays.
people that run that?
Like, well, they emailed me to go, just so you know, you've been added to famous birthdays. First of all, I'm like, how did you find my birthday? Is it just
That's
from my
cool.
Instagram, I guess? Because they add you once enough people have looked up your birthday. Apparently, it's like how they do their algorithm.
Okay, everyone who's listening to this, go look up Jacob Morris birthday, May 29.
And then see if it happens.
Yeah.
What is a core childhood memory?
Ooh, this is a good one. I grew up in a house that had a backyard.
Same.
And I was a big backyard kid. And actually, okay, I'll talk about this one because this is like backyard activity, whatever. I grew up beside two other kids.
Okay.
And my brother and I were 2 years apart. They were 2 years apart. And in between our yards was like a little patch of grass.
Okay.
So we would play side yard soccer.
We played side yard soccer too.
And it was like the perfect, there were some fences and then it was like two brick houses. So they kind of act as bumpers. So we had like a whole list of different rules that pertain just to our pitch kind of.
Yeah.
But we'd play like, in the evenings in the summer or on the weekends and that sort of thing. And it's just like, that was so fun.
That's
And
like
then
we had a cul-de-sac. So it's like we had we called it the island.
Yeah.
And it was like the big circle patch of grass. I don't even know who mowed that, the town, I guess. And so all the neighborhood kids, like it was so funny, but like, I don't know, neighborhood kids, I don't know if anybody else felt this. They weren't like really allowed in your house. Like they were like alley cats. Like you just hang out outside. Like we would all just hang out outside. Like I rarely went into their houses, but we always played on their front yards.
True.
Or on the island.
True.
I ran away from home multiple times to that island.
Ran away out front.
Well, it's down the street, but
Oh,
yes,
okay.
because I was at the end of the street.
Oh, really?
But I would
I
run-
never really knew anyone who grew up on a cul-de-sac.
Well, it was like a half cul-de-sac because it's still like it was almost like a roundabout borderline because it was like
could, like,
instead
get
of
out?
you could get out either way. Street, round street. Isn't that
Very
weird?
interesting.
It was almost like they
That's
wanted.
so suburban.
Well, small town. It wasn't really the suburbs, but yes.
Okay, fair enough.
But it was. We called it the island, and when I was mad at my parents, I'd run away
People
there.
people don't do that as much, eh?
Run away from home.
Well, maybe they do. No, I mean like play. Should we like? Oh, you know what it is? We live in a big city. What do city kids do?
Spike ball.
Yeah, but I mean like children. There aren't like big yards a lot of the time for kids. You know what I mean?
I have no idea.
That is one of the
I don't
scariest
have
things.
children.
I see kids sometimes because I live around a couple different schools. So I'll see like them walking home from school or that kind of thing. And I'm like, where did they go to play like I played when I was a kid? I don't know.
That's a great question. I don't know. I also just think like helicopter parenting is a lot different now than it was when
Maybe,
like
yeah,
my parents,
probably.
if it was a Saturday, my parents kicked us outside and said, see you at 8.
Yeah,
like
there was a lot of like, you
when
need
the
some
street-
fresh
no,
air.
It was
like
when the street lights went on, that was when we had to go back inside like for dinner. But we literally played outside the entire, like they wouldn't let us sit and watch TV. Like we had to play outside all day.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. Actually, the other one, shout out Dairy Queen. There was a Dairy Queen 3 blocks away, just up the street. So go get a.
Dairy Queen was also around the corner for me. It was iconic.
Sarah and I lived the exact same life.
Essentially, and we're both Geminis. So just one in KW and one in Coburg. You get to pick a question.
Okay,
now.
this is an interesting one because like it's such a specific time period that I don't know if we're gonna be able to come up with it. If you could take one trend from the early 2000s and bring it back, what would it be?
A trend.
Yeah, trend or like. For me, you know, they kind of came back actually.
Everything does come
charm
back.
bracelets. I had charm bracelets, but like you know
What
the
am I
ones
wearing on my wrist right now?
you have the dangly ones. I'm
Yes.
talking about like the
yes,
silver,
the Claire's
like
ones.
yeah.
The clip ones. Those ones were good.
Those are fun to collect. I didn't even wear it, but I had it. You know.
I don't know what I would. I feel like fashion wise, everything has come back. Like Y2K, like early 2000s, like low rise jeans. Like I feel
I was
like
wearing a lot of bucket hats when I was a kid.
But that's the issue is like trend. But I was a child in the early 2000s.
Oh,
so
you know what? I actually did have one for this. One thing that I was thinking of when I saw this question earlier, and this is maybe a goal. It's a very achievable goal. But for this year, I would love on a road trip. I want to listen to the radio.
we have the same brain. Yesterday, no, 2 days ago. One was Run Club. 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
I'm like driving the car, and we put on the radio, and then like went to go change it to like phone. I went, no.
Let's ride this out.
I go, let's let the radio choose the music for
Yeah.
us.
Was it good?
Isn't it? Yeah. And isn't it actually kind of fun that you don't have to make another decision in your life?
100%. Just leave it on, something in the background, especially if you're with other people, a little road trip vibe,
And
a little
support
radio
the
on a road
media
trip.
industry. Maybe that's what I want to bring back.
Support Shannon.
Support Shannon. We're big. We listen to The Edge a lot randomly.
I do Indie 88
Indie 88,
sometimes.
that's another one. Support radio stations. That's a great take.
And I like the little in-betweens. That'll never be, you know, like the Spotify DJ
No,
thing.
they'll never be able to replace it.
Never be able to replace like I want
I have another
hyper-local
one.
little weird news of like, oh yeah, there was a white squirrel again in Trinity Bellwoods Park. I want that news in between
I have
my
another
songs.
one because I was driving my sister's car the other day, and what we used to do for birthday parties is we would burn not DVDs. We would burn CDs with all of our favorite songs, and that was like in the goodie bags.
Ooh, that's good.
So I want party favors to give my friends. It's not the same if it's a playlist. Like I want to give them a physical CD they have to put in their car, which most cars don't even have CD players anymore.
That's good.
To then listen to that I've curated in that order. And like she had it in her car. It was called Emily's Jams, and I was listening to it, and I just was brought back to being
You know,
like
it could
8
be
years
fun.
old.
Like, what if there was like those like mini CDs? What if you like just like printed a QR code on or something like that, or made it like cool somehow, and like keep that in your
still
glove
made it a
box, and you
CD?
open it, you just
Yeah,
like
I
QR
like
code
that.
that to Spotify playlist.
So then
Maybe a
also
little
going
more
back,
practical.
goodie bags at birthday parties. That's what I'd like to bring back from the early
I'm
2000s.
pissed when I go to a birthday party these days,
And you don't get a goodie
I'm in my
bag.
30s.
We should have goodie bags. You can afford them now.
100%. Give me your favorite things. I want it to be. I want it to be favorite things.
Like little candies. At a wedding, I don't need it, but at your birthday party, I want it.
If I'm not walking away with 20 mini eggs after your spring birthday party, don't invite me.
What's the point? Okay, this one's really interesting. You get $10,000, but you can only spend it in the most unserious way possible. What are you doing?
I know exactly what I'm doing.
What are you
It's going to be for the cottage, and I have this, and I will accomplish this in one time. It's not going to cost $10,000, but maybe I'll get a few of them. I have this dream Actually, I'll buy two things. One, a little mini trailer that I can convert into like a little tuck shop type of thing with some snacks, some drinks in there.
This doesn't feel unserious. Like,
no,
this feels
this is
like
the
another
unserious part of it.
Okay.
This is the unserious part of it. No, there's no business involved, and it's not for like any rental or anything like that. The unserious part that I've always wanted, and they're really expensive actually, because I want a new one. I don't want an old one. You know, you go to a gas station, particularly an old gas station, and they have outside the things that keep the ice. It's like the ice freezer that has big ice on it.
You want one of those?
They're really expensive because it's a big piece of like commercial
ice machine
thing. Yeah, I want one of those.
And then just put a bunch of ice bags
in
it.
Bags of ice. Yeah, I want my own bags of ice.
So that is.
And I'll keep it stocked. That'll be the expensive part.
That's kind of clutch, though. How long does the ice last in the ice?
Presumably forever.
Could you make it so it like makes you ice? So you don't have to go buy ice?
I bet if I have $10,000, I bet I could. I could upgrade that.
That's a really good one.
Yeah. What about you?
I don't have anything nearly as like good
Something
as
random,
that.
snack thing. Some people might put a vending machine in their house.
Yeah.
That's kind of fun.
I mean, like something that's unserious. Oh man, I don't know.
Like, you know what I've been liking on TikTok that I actually would do, speaking of birthday parties? Maybe we'll do this year, although I never have a birthday party. I don't really like my birthday.
Maybe you'd like it more if we throw you a birthday party.
This is the unserious part, and I've liked seeing this on TikTok recently, and I'm like, I have to do this because the last time I did it, it was my 9th birthday, maybe 8th birthday. Okay. Hire a magician off of like Facebook Marketplace or something like that. I want to rent out, I don't know, a little like one of the venues in the city, small scale club venues. Hire a magician, not like an amazing magician.
No, just like a Kijiji
musician. Get that stage going. Plug in the cool playlists, and then have them do their like Dove and Fire show.
I have a funny story as a sidebar that like it relates to that. A friend of mine, for her bachelorette party, her fiance organized this whole thing to like make it seem like he was sending a stripper, but he actually sent a professional juggler.
Wait, to what?
To her Airbnb in Nashville.
Oh, for the bachelorette, sorry.
And he showed up, and the whole thing was he was supposed to juggle dildos, but the dildos didn't arrive in time. But like, wouldn't have that been hilarious? You think that it's a stripper at the door, and it's a guy that's a professional. This guy was like America's Got Talent, professional juggler.
I love that.
Isn't that so funny?
Do you know what? I taught myself how to juggle. I'm a juggler. I can juggle almost anything.
Oh, interesting. I still really don't know. Like, my brain goes to like building a home library, which is not unserious. Like, that's not like
that's
fun.
Serious.
No, that's serious. I know. I'm trying to like $10,000. What can I can just spend it on? I spend it on something silly.
What's the goofiest thing you could think of?
I don't know. The vending machine idea wasn't a bad idea. You got me thinking about ice, and I don't have an ice machine in my apartment. And every time I host a party, I need ice, and that's such a good idea. Ice is
tough to get. Yeah,
and I always have to text someone to ask them to get them ice.
That's a nice thing to like for someone to bring to a party. But also, if you just had it,
professional photo booth. That's what I would do.
Ooh, that'd be like a classic, like actual
classic
film,
one film photo booth.
100%.
Which probably costs more than $10,000. But then at every party, it could have like my little logo in the corner. I could just
charge at the party.
No, I'm not going to charge people. This is the difference. It's like I'm willing to lose money on this. I'd want a professional photo booth in my apartment.
That's cool.
Or in my house that I could then like use. I'm not even renting it out, not a business. I just want it for parties, so then everybody knows when they've like the Kardashians have their photo booth that they use, then you know you've been to a Sarah Jenkins party.
You know what, shout out my brother Ben this morning in the family group chat at 9:06 a.m. he got an email back from someone that he had just reached out to last night, Sunday night, for the cottage. This is deeply unserious and probably would be ridiculously expensive, but he got in contact with someone who designs like children's playgrounds and has all the supply. He's the supplier essentially for like all of the equipment, because he was looking probably 75% serious of getting like a large scale slide to go off the deck to just nowhere.
That's unreal. Wait, off the deck just onto the grass?
Well, it goes like the cottage is built out, so the deck is out and it is quite steep. So you could do probably like a 50-foot slide pretty easily. It'd be very dangerous, but fun.
Yeah, because you could roll down the hill after that. That's pretty fun. Okay, pick one more question, Jacob.
Okay, if you had to be trapped for the rest of your life in a reality TV show, could be a reality like competition show, or it could be something.
But I'm trapped in the show.
Yeah, you just have to like live in that environment.
Does it have to be a competition show?
Could be anything. It could be you could work at the restaurant in
Vanderpump Rules.
Vanderpump.
No, if I'm getting trapped in a reality show, I am a Real Housewife.
Really?
Because that means I'm rich.
Yeah, you're gonna take this back in a second.
That means I'm rich. If I am a real housewife, that means I have a level of wealth.
I think I would pass away just from like the conversation.
The drama.
Yeah, I just couldn't deal with it.
Yeah, but like all those people take what are those blockers called now that everyone takes that they do you know what I'm talking about? All the celebrities on red carpets take them.
Oh wait, the White Lotus girls taking?
Yeah, like the same thing. Like they take these like blockers for like anxiety and so that's what I would do.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Like I feel like housewife. Why? You have a really good answer. And I'm
Amazing Race. I would just travel everywhere.
No, you're trapped in the reality show, meaning you're not actually seeing the places. That means you're running around doing the challenges all the time. Yeah, but those people, Cassie was on our show, said you go to these places and don't even get to experience it, and then you live in the hotel rooms and you just eat Subway for dinner every single night.
Yeah, I do like Subway.
That really changed my whole perspective on wanting to even go on.
Okay. If I had to be trapped in one that was like...
but if Amazing Race Canada wants us to be on the show, we'll go.
We're ready. Actually, we both keep it underneath this desk. We have like the black thing on the front you can't see, but we have our bags packed when the call comes.
What would we pick as our uniform? Like, you know, like dress similar?
Cargo pants for sure.
Yeah, would I have to wear a hat probably to match you?
You could do like a bandana.
We run around and just bring our Talking Fast totes. Like that's what we packed everything. It's just a tote bag. Or running gear.
Running gear. Yeah.
I mean, you have to dress the same every day.
Yeah, it'd be something like that.
We could do Canadian tuxedo. I feel like that'd be not fun to compete in.
We're doing like physical challenges in just like the most denim.
I couldn't. The thing is, I can't like show. Like, I won't do in the eating stuff. If you would take on those,
I would. Yeah.
I wouldn't. I can do heights. I can do maybe not surfing. Maybe
I can't do heights.
The odds of that happening twice to me is very slim.
I could do. I'm a good driver, so I could like. I would like
standard.
I'll learn.
Get going. When does casting start? Start practicing today. All right. Well, that was a super quick Ask Me Anything. And if you liked it, it was like a teaser. We want to like pull you in and then let us know if you liked this segment. I feel like that was fun.
I think that was good. Yeah.
We just like fuel ourselves. Be like, yeah, pat ourselves on the back. That was great. The people in the car might be like, that was so boring. But let us know if you liked this little segment and if you have any questions to ask us, especially these fun ones, like what would you do with $10,000 or whatever, please send it in either the group chat, that broadcast channel, or you can DM us at Talking Fast Show. But yeah, we'll do this one again. We'll add it to the rotation of random little segments that we like to. We haven't ranked anything in a while either. We should do that. We should bring that
100%. Yeah. And more tea. I really like to email ones with like the bigger problems. So if you have something if you have a huge life problem that you want the two of us to solve for you.
I need to know if that girl is moving to Vancouver.
Please follow up.
Let us know. We need like the people want to know. We need the follow-ups. So if you have any big life decisions coming up, maybe a divorce, a new job, let us know. And we'll try and help you figure it out. Until then, I've been Sarah. That's been Jacob. We're here every single Wednesday. Thanks for listening to another episode of Talking Fast, and we'll see you next week. Bye.